Am I centered? So we're here at Mount Baker Artist Point, and we're just doing our first real-world test here of the Tamron 35 to 150 f2 f2.8.
Stop for just one moment, take it all into view. Floods rising, catching my attention. Was thinking or swimming, I still fine. I'm just along for the ride. So let it rain down, let it pour.
Initial impressions, it's a really nice clean lens, but I will say it is pretty dang heavy. We've only been hiking for about 10-15 minutes, and it feels like this could get tiresome and wearisome pretty quickly. Now we're using the 35 to 150 on the Sony FX30, and so the crop factor that I actually did not really take into consideration at 35 is not as wide as I really hoped it would have been. So at 35 multiplied by 1.5, so it's about a 50 millimeter. So it's not quite as wide at 35 as I would like, but I can imagine on the FX3 that the 35 would be nice and clean. The other thing I will make note of is that it is pretty beefy, but that 150 mil that you're seeing right now is actually really, really nice and tight. So the blur on the background, even at f4, looks really, really nice. But the other thing that I will note is that the diameter of the lens at 82 millimeter is pretty large. That means if you have any ND filters at all that are under 82 millimeters, I mean, this is gonna be something that you're gonna have to invest a little bit more money on, is getting 82 millimeter ND filters. But let's keep going. Now, I will say that even though this is a very chunky lens, I am actually loving shooting with this thing. I typically do not shoot with long range lenses. Everything that we've ever shot on the FX30 has always been actually with the 18 to 55 f2.8 from Sigma. So it's actually pretty refreshing to have something that I can just get some really long range. I'll throw some clips up showing an example of a 35 mil versus 150 mil, but it's actually super, super nice. So I'm excited to get back in the studio and take a look at sharpness, because that's something I'm interested in. I've been shooting wide open. We've been shooting at f4, at 5.6, depending on the available light and exposure. But all in all, this has been a pretty fun lens, and I can see this being an awesome everyday lens, and especially for wedding films, one and done, no holds barred, never have to replace kind of lens. So let's keep going. Now, two other things I will note about this lens. I do love when the feature in larger lenses for an autofocus to manual focus switch. I do love that. It makes it just that much quicker to switch between autofocus and manual focus. So that is a big bonus for me. And the last thing I forgot to mention, actually, it is going to ask a lot more of your tripod. So right now I'll throw up a clip of the K&F tripod that I have this lens and camera combo on, and I think it is at the very max capacity. Also, I've had it hanging on one of those quick release Peak Design style clips on my backpack, and I just think it weighs a little bit too much for that. So if you're looking for portability, this might not be the lens for you. Now, I will say overall, I am pretty impressed with this lens. The versatility of it, I think, is gonna come in handy for a lot of people. And I think this is gonna replace a lot of lenses in our personal kit. So I think the only beef I have with this lens is its overall size. I'm so used to on the FX30 rocking the 18 to 50 f2.8 from Sigma. So I think it's just gonna be a little bit of an adjustment to rock a 35 to 150 that weighs like 6 times as much as that tiny little 18 to 50. But I'll let the results speak for themselves. Check out this little clip and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.